Guys, on a sad, Thursday morning, we know here good news, and this is a black Thursday on Prrrr. My condolences to the Jota family and the football fraternity at large. Right now, I don't know. Life, safe. life. Make I introduce you guys first. That's in the conf me safe. Funny enough, I know where this just in almost 2.5 months. Just did my closet inside. Today, I saw me I just pick up. I don't know, see this be what will happen, but the chemist here, big man, everything cool.
Everything cool, my G. Everything cool.
You be Liverpool fan, and I saw you singing the song for him. Can you, for respect's sake, can you sing his song for us?
R.I.P. Jota. Oh, he's a number 20.
Actually.
He's gonna lead us to victory.
Charlie.
He's the lad from Portugal. Better than Figo, don't you know? Oh, his name is Diogo.
Hey.
R.I.P. Jota.
Very
Forever
sad.
be missed.
Very sad. 28-year-old. He just married 2 weeks ago. Watch the picture plus in wife. See the small kiddies. One self not chop 7 years. Self. This life be so fickle. That boy I always talk see. The grudges you they hold against people, throw them away.
That's true.
Somebody way they hate town, throw them away. Just live your life. Like, make not think about people's self, bro. Live your life. Live it to the fullest. Chill. Have fun. Live it to the fullest. Because, see, he had just made it to, his peak of his years. Liverpool.
28 years.
Making money for the family. The better two, they make money small. He they play for Penafiel, André Silva. Not the André Silva but Penafiel. Then they League 2, as we say, championship in Portugal. And these two breadwinners are all gone for the family. My condolences again to the Jota family. And yes, we will give you updates on that. But let's move straight to action. Life goes on though. To Club World Cup preview. That be quarterfinal preview. I think I will add more energy to him, even though we have had a big loss today.
It's necessary.
He's a very likable player. I think only Salah and then they are the only likable players I like in Liverpool.
You don't like Gakpo?
No.
Why? Because he failed.
No. Because he just plays for Liverpool.
Really?
But Jota, there are several moments I can talk about him. That beautiful goal he scored against Arsenal. Tavares passed the ball, give up. I don't want Kyle Yao.
I remember.
He damaged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ramsdale just even give up before the ball.
I remember. And then I remember his last goal for us against Everton this season.
Yeah.
We needed that goal. We really needed that goal in 70-something minutes, Diogo Jota. And I always remember him for his celebration.
Yeah. And I remember those days at Wolves, he used to punish us all the time. That's United. Even went to Liverpool. He was still, even this season, for Anfield, he can't score the game. Can't score some beautiful goal. Very great guy. Very good in the air for someone who was like 5'7" or 5'8". Charlie sorely missed. Let's move to the Club World Cup in America. And even before we go start, Opta drop some start way. I see the Chelsea fans, they try to play the humble card. Oh, we can't win it. Opta, no, it's a machine. It's a fraud. No, we can't do anything. Fluminense go score we. Palmeiras go score we. Chelsea 26.5%. You can't fault the supercomputer. You have Madrid with 19.1%. 16.5%. You have PSG, that's the European champions, even lower behind Chelsea, 25.5%. Bayern Munich, 14%. Dortmund, BVB, 7%. Hilal, 4.3%. Palmeiras, 2.9%. And Fluminense, the lowest ranked or predicted team by Opta, 1.56%. What amounted to this, percentage accumulation by Opta?
I think it's the pathway for Chelsea. Oh, first of all, I'm just adding my voice to it. Rest in peace, Jota.
Yeah.
I mean, the news hit all of us this morning, and sometimes we make a mistake of thinking these footballers are almost immortal. And daily life problems cannot happen to them. And a car crash we hear every day. It's happened to one of them.
That's so true.
It's tragic, but
Two breadwinners.
Yeah. We are going to try and hard and go on with it, but I'm really hit by Charlie. So I feel the Opta gave Chelsea that percentage because of their pathway. For tournament, there are things you need, your route and luck.
Yeah.
Because it's a 90-minute game. There's not a league period where you get to play there's not a league where you get to play everybody, so it evens out in the end. It's a tournament, so your pathway and the luck you get in matches, it counts. And I feel Chelsea have the best part among all the European sides, all the big European sides. Chelsea have the best pathway. Once City got eliminated,
that was it.
I felt Chelsea had a good chance of making it into the final.
Oh yeah. So, I feel the same.
Yeah, so it's not surprising that Opta has given Chelsea that percentage.
Okay, so their fans should stop playing the humble card. Say, Palmeiras, we know that they can't score you. We know Fluminense or Hilal can't score you.
But their fans are playing their humble card. I understand that because of what Hilal did to City. Right? If Hilal is supposed to win against Fluminense, I think that game might go into penalties. But if Hilal is supposed to win against Fluminense, right, they are playing the humble card because we do not want to brag. We've seen that before. We don't want to brag, and at the end, Charlie, we did everybody move inside. So they are playing the humble card. I understand that. But if Hilal is supposed to qualify and Chelsea is supposed to qualify, they meet in the semi-final. That'd be one beautiful game to have. That'd be one very beautiful game to watch. And then I know Chelsea will qualify, but hey, they will still play the humble card, and I understand them.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the quarterfinal games. We have Palmeiras taking on Chelsea. We have Fluminense from Brazil taking on Al Hilal. We have PSG, the European champions, taking on Bayern Munich, and also BVB taking on Real Madrid, Los Blancos. So let's see which team will win it for the very first time. But before we get into that, we'll touch on two important things. Let me start with you. The African teams, their performance in the Club World Cup. It was so. What do you think accounted for all of this? I think I watched a game with that. I think Esperance and Chelsea. First 20 minutes, even though Chelsea had not scored, I just turned my TV off and went to watch TikTok. But it was a waste of time. I knew they won't do anything.
Look, it shows the gap in quality between the African teams and the European teams. I mean, Al Ahly for me, Al Ahly were the most disappointing.
Oh yes,
because
Inter Miami
the group they were in, I felt they were at least the second best team in that group.
Yeah, that's so true.
They should have qualified.
Yeah. Very, very true.
To draw against Inter Miami,
missing a penalty,
and their results were really disappointing. And for me, they are the biggest misses of the Club World Cup. So, look, it shows the gap in quality between. We have a long way to go. Sundowns, as hard as they tried, in the end they just went to quality. Yeah, quality with quality. You can have all the fight, you can have all the motivation, you can have all the resilience to go, but once the quality is not there, I always say, player quality is the best advantage you can ever have in football. Tactics beyond Kokadem.
So it's not the fault of the low quality of coaches, their tactics, and because football has evolved. And I know with Sundowns, even their former coach, Mokwena, their immediate past coach that was sacked, he was sent to Fluminense for like almost 6 months.
Yes.
He went to learn a lot, came back, they got to the semi-final of the CAF Champions League. And even when they played against, Fluminense, one of their players, I think Mokwena, the captain, said, they played against a prototype.
Yeah.
That's why that game was so difficult for Fluminense.
Yeah.
It was just left with the quality to put the ball into the net.
Yeah. So you see, there are some of this, we can put it down, we can put it to coaching too, in some aspects. But like I said, from what I watch of all the African teams, it went down to player quality. That is what I'll put it to.
Okay.
Because and when you see some of it too, there are some coaches who might, like you said, sit with some of these some of these Brazil. I wouldn't say Europeans. I'll say Brazilians or maybe the Saudi guys that are like the Al Hilals. But in the end, I mean, aside Al Ahly, I don't think any of them really can really fault any of them.
So let me come to you.
That's so true. So with the African side disappointing us, are we surprised?
Kind of. We're not surprised.
Good. I don't think we should be surprised. But I was actually rooting for Al Ahly, sorry.
Okay.
Because they have the budget. Ali can go into the market and say, they can compete with European team. At least they can put down a 10 million pound or 10 million euros to buy a player. The other teams cannot. But I was so disappointed, especially in a senior player like Trezeguet. Your type, your stature, you've played in Europe, you play in the national team, you're a starter in the national team. You get a penalty, you can't pick a spot, and you mess it up against a struggling Inter Miami, Javier Mascherano, who is now finding his feet. An Inter Miami team who, with a 38-year-old goalkeeper. Brother, I don't know, but with the African side, I would say Sundowns did well. I actually did not expect them to, at least they got some points in there. But hey, it's actually a disappointment. And then it goes down to what my brother said, quality.
Yeah.
We do not spend on our game. And even if we spend, the corruption is way there. Okay, I know this. Now let's bring this together and let's. It's actually not helping us. So it's high time we actually invest in our games. We put down a quota down. Okay, this is what we want to do. I see what Senegal is doing. The village they have actually built, and then look, in the next 5-7 years, Senegal is going to hit there. And do you remember how? Have you seen what Morocco did after CAN 2008? Morocco didn't hit it. I think 2010 Morocco didn't hit it as well. Now look at Morocco.
Yeah.
Now. Morocco have dedicated time to build football because they know football is actually a very good investment for them. So they've dedicated time to build football. Now look at their national teams. Now look at the export they give to the European clubs. So I think it's actually down to quality. It's about time we invest in our games. And then it's about time we have more technical people in our game as well. We shouldn't just go the normal route.
Okay. So let's touch on the games. So Palmeiras versus Chelsea. Going into this game, Palmeiras, I've had a very good tournament. I remember the very first game they played in the tournament against Porto. It was a 0-0 draw. And then they had to win their next game against Al Ahly, which was a bit shocking to me because Al Ahly did so well against Inter Miami. We were thinking at least they would get a draw against Palmeiras. But Palmeiras, with the quality they have, and then the Samba football, they had to overcome Al Ahly. And then their last game, they came back from 2-0 down against Inter Miami to get a draw. And finally, against Botafogo, a Brazilian derby, they found a way to, grind the results in the extra time. Coming into this game against Chelsea, I know Chelsea has a very bad record against Brazilian teams. 3 games played, only 1 win. That was against the same Palmeiras in the 2021.
2021.
Yeah, the Club World Cup final. I remember that one even went to penalty. I think 117th minute. Lukaku had to score that goal. I remember.
I think it was Havertz who scored a penalty.
Havertz. Okay. But Lukaku scored in that game. I think it was regulation time. So going into this game, I understand the Chelsea fans are trying to play the humble card, but should they be scared knowing their bad record against these Brazilian teams?
Their record against the Brazilian teams should give them worry on that side.
Yeah.
But having watched Palmeiras this tournament and having watched Chelsea, I do not think Palmeiras pose that big a threat to Chelsea. Honestly speaking.
So you would have wanted Botafogo?
I think maybe Chelsea have luckily been on the side of the draw where they are just better than the teams around them.
That's true.
And that is it. So you see, even in the game against Benfica, you could see from the start, even at the time it was 0-0, that it would take something extraordinary, a really, really big blow from Chelsea for Benfica to get something from the game. Because when you are watching the game, you can see how Chelsea were at no point in danger of losing that game. They were very, very much in control of the game. And I feel it's going to be the same against Palmeiras. I think Chelsea just have way too much quality. And I'm hearing now that João Pedro, he has maybe a little chance of making the bench in this game. He might actually, and you see the squad Chelsea have, and they're adding a quality like João Pedro against Palmeiras. So I think Chelsea just have too much for Palmeiras in this game. Palmeiras have been impressed a little bit by them. There's so much talk about Estevao. I think a lot of it has been hype, but I mean, he's such a good player. But come on, the player of the match awards he's been winning. It's a fan voted award. Let me make this clear. It's a fan voted award. Chelsea fans hijacked that award. Let's be serious. Let's be honest. Chelsea fans have hijacked because there are some games where he didn't even deserve to be player of the match, but he still won.
I watched the Botafogo game before I come to. I watched the Botafogo game and it was so funny because there was no way he was going past Alex Telles. Then they switched. he switched to the other side and he couldn't even finish off with the other guy who was even 35 years old. So I was like, what's the high? Okay, maybe let's just see.
The other winger I felt is a good
The
one.
Alan guy.
Yes.
Yeah, the younger one.
Alan is a very good guy.
Yeah.
And I think the two of them, he and Estevao, are the creative sparks of this team. And Botafogo are so Palmeiras rather are so reliant on them to create something that when you are able to stop these two, you have a
But
good
Botafogo
chance
did,
of
but
winning.
the goal they considered was one of those goals. You understand?
You understand? So yeah.
Let me come to you on if you have anything to say. And I'll give
Chelsea
you the Fluminense
Palmeiras.
again.
Okay, sure. So Chelsea Palmeiras, as you said, I always say records are meant to be broken. Chelsea will or can break the record
The golfing quality they have.
because up front alone, I think Chelsea has close to 10 players up front for the front three.
Yeah.
Gui, Palma,
Madu,
Neto, Madueke. They've added João Pedro to
Yeah.
it. Jackson,
Delap.
Liam Delap. Look, so the Chelsea we knew, should I say, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, suffering under Pochettino, and then what's the name? This guy, former Brighton's coach.
Port. Mr. Porter.
Porter. I remember when Porter came. Porter. It's not the same Chelsea under Maresca. Maresca is a very good tactician. I know Chelsea will win the midfield game. If Chelsea wins the midfield game, that's it. And I know Chelsea will win the midfield game. So I would say that this is the year Chelsea will break the record, because 2025 has been the year that every kind of record is being broken.
Yeah.
Every kind of record is being broken. Crystal Palace is winning the trophy. All the other teams are with Bologna and all of Chelsea. This is your year. Chelsea's winning against Palmeiras.
They are not winning the Club World Cup. You are trying to complete the thing, so please complete it. So that you'll be on record.
Chelsea, I'm putting my head on the Chelsea will win the Club World Cup. Me.
Your head on the what?
Nah, I'm putting my head on the table, on the floor, whatever you want to
say chopping board or the guillotine.
Whatever you want to put it on. Whether you want to put it on a chopping board, I'm sitting here today on a Thursday morning saying that Chelsea will win the Club World Cup. Even though I'm a Liverpool fan, I know Chelsea will win the Club World Cup.
Hey, Accra say Chelsea they win the Club World Cup.
Yes.
We go on record. We day. I'm giving the Fluminense again. Fluminense have been so imperious at the back.
Good.
They have, a 40-year-old defender that's, I don't know. I think he's like French wine. He gets better with time. I think when he was leaving PSG and come to Chelsea, I was making fun of Chelsea. I remember those days I wasn't really popular on Twitter.
Sure.
So I just put out a funny tweet like, now we're so cool. You understand? I was thinking he had played all his football at PSG. The season prior, they lost the Champions League final. So what's he going to do at Chelsea? Oh, they will make fun of him. And then his second game, West Brom give it to them 5. I remember he does some more, but West Brom give it to them 5 too. I was like, because I could cry about heading. But from that time, every year, he gets better.
So one thing with Thiago Silva, I've studied this. As he's aging, he's adapting his game. The Thiago Silva we knew in 2011, 2012 at AC Milan is not the same Thiago Silva now. He had pace then. He doesn't have it now. So he has adapted to his game that he knows when to go in and when not to go in. And then growing as well, he's like James Milner. They are not aging. Yesterday, I saw a tweet on James Milner. Sorry, I saw something on James Milner's Instagram. His age is it Opta or something gave to him is 27 years, 11 days. But James Milner is hitting 40 years. So as they age, I think they've been intentional with their nutrition. They've been intentional with what they eat and how they keep themselves. So with Thiago Silva, I believe and I know he's like a Maldini. He's kept himself very well. He's adapted to his game. And then his quality is one we can't take away from him. Thiago Silva's quality is one we can't take away. So Fluminense, Al Hilal, I know Fluminense has the back. But if there is a counter that I know Hilal will hit them on, if Hilal hits the counter, I know it's a Hilal win. But I'll give the win to Hilal because I know the quality they have up front. When Malcolm has the ball, he's very disruptive. And then the counter attack, as I said, and their coach, Simeone Inzaghi, went in the job like 2 weeks ago, and then he entered the Club World Cup, and then they've adapted to his style, the 3-4-3, very flexible, very fluid in there. So I know Hilal, where Cancelo, Neves, Milinkovic, Savic in there. So I know Hilal will have the day. But I know Fluminense will give them a run for their money. And then that's one game I see that people might not watch. It won't give us the quality we have with, let's say, PSG Atletico game or PSG playing Madrid or something like that. But I want people to watch out for that game because that game will be very, very nice. Two tacticians coming together and it's going to give us a very good run for our money.
Okay. So before we move to the PSG game and then the Bayern game that everyone wants to watch, so he was talking about, let me come to you. He was talking about adaptation. We Africans always boast that, we have, the physique, athleticism. Why is that our players can't adapt when the age is going? Because we're here and our big brother, that's Steve Napier, retired at 29 years. I felt he had more years in him. We have players that ACM was gone by 32.
I think
it was done.
2010.
But Modric is 40 years. I don't want to even mention Ronaldo because he's not part of them. Messi and Ronaldo are not part. But Thiago Silva, 40 years. Pepe, they had to beg him to retire before he had to retire.
I know, right?
Let's be honest with ourselves. We know the reason why our players retire at an early age.
I don't know.
We all know that.
Tell us.
I mean, let's be honest. There are question marks over the ages of these players, the real ages of these players. So when we hear a player like Steve Napier retiring at age 30 or 31, or Asamajan officially retiring at age 34 or 35, I don't know which exact age he retired, it shouldn't surprise us. We know the situation in Ghana. We know how. I think in recent years, because of the strict scrutiny in checking the ages of these players at under 17 and under 20 level, we are not able to get away with these things.
The MRI scans.
But let's not forget that in the 90s and the early 90s, we're able to get away with these things. So let us not delve too much on the ages of these players. We know in real time those are not the ages of these players. Let's be honest to ourselves.
So now that I want to put it to you, now that the MRI scan has come in, and I think for the past 6 or 7 years, it means that for the next 10 years, the players that will be churning out, that will be hitting into their 30s, they have to also adapt with time.
They should. And with improvement in medicine over the years and technology and everything, I think if you are not going to take advantage of that as a player, with dieting and everything, look at Cristiano Ronaldo at age 40, and it's not even limited to football. You go to basketball, LeBron James at age 40, he's still playing like he's 25. I mean, he's still averaging 25 points a season. That's a good return for a basketball player at his age. So with this advancements in medicine and everything, if you as a player cannot take advantage of that to prolong your career and get things right with yourself, take care of yourself, keep your body in check, then you have yourself to blame, because once you are done with football, many of these players are not that educated, let me say. So football might be their last football contract might be their biggest paycheck, their last big paycheck they ever get in their life. So it's something that should last them for the rest of their life. So if you are not going to take a cue from what these guys are doing to prolong your careers, then you're on your own. But that being said, I want to let's say, acknowledge and appreciate the current crop of Ghanaian Black Star players who are actually taking it upon themselves to do this. We see them taking their fitness seriously, taking their training seriously. They will get rewards for their sacrifice. On adaptation, I also want to point out a few guys who have actually adapted their game as they grew. Look at Sule Muntari. He moved from a fast-paced winger to a midfield role in the latter stages of his career. We even look at the former Black Stars captain, André. He was a winger at first. Now he noticed he doesn't have the energy. So to prolong his career, he's moved in a more central role where he doesn't have to exert that much energy. So the adaptation could be in many forms. Our players are going to adapt, but if you want to focus on only the age, I think you are being unfair to them. We know the situation in this country. Some of these players didn't get their big break till they were 22. Yeah. So as much as we want to criticize them, sometimes let us also understand where they are coming from. Yeah, because someone from the slums in the northern region finally gets his big break at 22. Agents come. Of course, they are going to money. The truth is, some of these players didn't even have birth certificates when they were born. You understand? So, yeah, let's understand them.
Okay. Let's move to the PSG game. The one everyone is looking at. So, looking at both coaches, that is Enrique and also that is Company. I know there's a vast gap. Like, the gap is huge from Northern Region to Accra. I know the gap is huge. But the golf in quality when it comes to the players, at least, Bayern also has some players, some great players.
Yes.
Same as also PSG. Funny enough, PSG has only won once against Bayern in 7 games. Bayern has won 6.
Yeah.
So it tells you they're fine. PSG might be on top right now just for this season, but Bayern always trumps them all the time. Do you think history repeats itself again? Bayern thumping them. Will it be more of like a shock because everyone is rooting for PSG to win the Club World Cup?
It wouldn't be a shock, but I think PSG are slight favorites ahead of this game. I mean, look, whatever PSG have done from January till now, it's about taking this team to a different level and changing the narrative about the French league and themselves and PSG themselves as a team. They've, for some years now, they've been known as people who spend, like, even on this show, Ajo himself has been saying PSG, he doesn't trust them. They only spend money. He doesn't trust them to go find the Champions League. He doesn't trust them to win it. They've won it now. And you look at their trajectory from January, and after they won, in the manner they won, first of all, against Inter Milan, the biggest Champions League win in history since 92. Then you look at the moves they are making since then. It's like I see their demeanor, and it's as though Luis Enrique has told these guys, you are now at the table of big men. They just have this big boy aura about them. They are exuding that much confidence, similar to, let's say, something that Real Madrid will do. I'm not saying they are not on the level of Real Madrid yet, but you look at the body language of their players, even in games. It's like we decide how many will score you. When we are tired, we don't.
We'll cool it down.
It's like I watched them especially this Club World Cup, since this is the only tournament they've played after the Champions League, and I've been really impressed by how they've gone about their stuff. The body language of the players is like the players finally know they are good. I think first there were some doubts, or then they felt they had to prove themselves. But this is a PSG squad that has players who know they are good. And when a group of players get to that level, they are very scary. Let's not forget these guys are very young too. John Neves, I think, is 21. Vitinha, I don't think he should be 25. Dembele, the leader of the team, he's 26 or 27. So you see, these guys have this much confidence at a very young age, and it is a very exciting prospect for them. Coming up against Bayern Munich, I really think PSG have been in control of several situations in games they've played this season. Once they get control of the games, they decide wherever it goes. And I look at this Bayern team, and I've seen them be very, very profligate. I watched them against Flamengo. And let look. Even though they won that game, had Flamengo had a little quality, or a little European quality, let me put it in quotes, they would have beaten Bayern in that game. Because Flamengo really gave a good account themselves, showed no fear. They played very well, and in the end, Bayern just had too many game changers in their team. That was the difference. They are not going to get that against PSG. They are going to face a PSG team who can match them quality for quality and boot for boot. And you see, that is why I feel PSG have the advantage. They are going to... I see PSG winning this game. And Luis Enrique's tactical prowess have just been off the charts. He knows exactly what to do at the right time. He knows how to... His in-game switches and everything. I've been really impressed by PSG, and I think they'll beat Bayern.
Okay, so let's try and finish it off a bit, but I'll give you the Madrid game. You can also chip in a little bit. If you are in the camp of Company, you're part of his coaching staff, what will you tell him before this game?
What am I going to tell Company? So... PSG is known for pressing. They will run till the referee blows the whistle. So what am I going to tell Company? At the back, PSG's back, right? If we pay attention, we have an aging Marquinhos, right? And then we have this Ecuadorian guy.
Yeah, Pacho
coming up, right? And I see spaces if Bayern is able to take their chances and finish them off earlier on in the game, or even later on in the game, they will be able to win. But what I can tell Company is, go try your best, because what PSG is known for this season...
They're just bullying teams.
PSG is just bullying teams this season. So I wish Bayern all the best, but I won't be surprised if Bayern wins the game because of PSG's backline, because Hakimi runs in, and then Nuno Mendes also runs in there. Okay, you have Fabian Ruiz sitting back, but Fabian Ruiz, we know, is not pacey enough. what's his name? Marquinhos, we know is not pacey enough.
Yeah.
Pacho, in as much as he's young, I've studied his game. He's not that pacey. Harry Kane will sit in, will come in as a 10 and then play as a striker. But if you have Musiala on his day, if we have Gnabry on his day, they can hit PSG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you to finish off the Madrid game, the big one. It could have been the Bellingham brothers, romance, but Job decided to get a yellow card.
I know, right?
Yes, because that tackle didn't make any sense. To just let the guy go, he's going nowhere, and you could have FIFA would have sold millions. But
I know, right?
I say Infantino vexed for a room. I said, hey, you this stubborn boy. I would have sold millions.
I know, right?
Yeah, but let's talk about the game.
So Madrid, Dortmund, the replay of the last year's Champions League final. Dortmund do not have the quality to beat Madrid now.
As of that time, yeah,
they didn't have the quality then. They still do not have the quality now.
Okay. But at least that quality then was better.
It was better because Niko Kovac, right? Niko Kovac, their coach, he's very good. But I rate him as David Moyes.
Oh, so
that's
Croatian
me.
David Moyes.
You can say it as that. Croatian David Moyes. There's this thing about him where he's unable to move on to the next phase.
Okay.
He went to Bayern Munich. He was doing well, right? But he lost the job along the line. Yeah. Madrid, Dortmund. Madrid on this day, they've started with the 3-back, Alonso's preferred formation, 3-4-3, with Trent dashing in. Trent's defense, I know, is awful, but his crosses, I know. Eden Garcia up front. I don't know, Mbappe, I don't think Mbappe will start that game, but Garcia up front, Vinicius on his day. We have Jude Bellingham on his day, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Rudiger. Oh, Madrid are there. But Dortmund...
But they have Guirassy.
I know. As my brother said earlier on, quality, right? Guirassy has the quality and then Adeyemi on the runs. If Dortmund are able to get counter-attacks, fine, and they finish it off, they can hurt Madrid. But if they're unable to finish it off with their counter-attacks and then mess up the game, Adeyemi, I know, sometimes he's a bit selfish. The guy has pace, no doubt. He has pace.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's a bit selfish. Finishing I actually love the ball he gave to Guirassy to score the second goal against what's the name? Monterrey.
Yeah.
It was very, very, because the Adeyemi I know will get that ball and shoot.
Yeah.
But I was actually surprised. Wow, he just lead the pass there. If Adeyemi on his day, Guirassy on his day finish their chances off, and then are able, and Gregor Kobel is able to keep the post. If he plays Al Hilal's keeper's game, what's his name? If he's a Yassine Bono on that day, then I think Dortmund can win. But I know that Dortmund is no match for Madrid.
Okay.
Dortmund is no match for Madrid at all.
Let me give you the finishing touches in this game, and we'll close.
I see Madrid winning this game. Madrid Alonso is slowly getting his grip on the team. And it's been a slow process, but he's gradually finding the best fit for everybody. Against the last game of the group stages, I've forgotten the team they played.
Oh, I think it was is it Pachuca?
Yes,
it was. Yeah, I think
even though it was I think Salzburg was the second game.
Pachuca,
but it was a good indication of how far this Madrid team have come. Yeah. Even though it was against a low team.
Sure.
But then against Juventus, I really was impressed with what I saw.
A lot of chances created.
Even
from the goalkeeper, they would have scored like 10.
Exactly. The goalkeeper being the man of the match on the day should tell us what we need to know about that game. They played very well. They created lots of chances. They just couldn't finish it. I felt if Mbappe had started, maybe they might have converted more chances. That is no slight to Gonzalo Garcia, who has impressed me a lot.
Yeah. 3 goals, 1 assist.
Sure. Yes. But when you have the extra quality of Mbappe on the pitch, you get to score more. The key to Madrid as of now, we don't know the players, the other players they are going to bring in. But the key to them as of now is to be able to involve Trent in the attack. I know he's a defender, but yes, Trent in contribution to attack could be the game changer for Madrid next season, because he gives you something unique no right back in the world gives you: his ability to pass the ball. Trent is the only right back I can say that when he crosses the center line, he's as dangerous as every winger. His passing accuracy is just off the charts. Okay. His crossing is just good. And you see, the major strength of Trent aligns with what Mbappe also thrives on. Mbappe thrives on runs in behind defenders. Trent knows how to play the exact ball Mbappe wants. So if you're able to add that attacking play, that attacking weapon to their game, Mbappe and Alonso's team would have got to, would be so good. And he's now been given the responsibility of playing as a wing back, which takes a bit of defensive responsibility off him, and that's going to be key to how he progresses in his Madrid career. So yeah, I see Madrid winning this game. I do not think Dortmund. I think the real test for Madrid will be if they when they face either PSG or Bayern Munich in the semi-final.
Sure.
But I'll be very surprised if they go out.
Okay. Guys, so this has been a very solemn Club World Cup, preview. Condolences to the Jota family and the football fraternity at large. Rest in peace to the Jota family and also to his brother, Silva. But before I go left, subscribe to the channel and then like and share. And one advice that is André, please talk to the coach and try and go and play some loan B for Villarreal. Villarreal is going to play the Champions League. Try and go and play a loan day. Gerard Moreno gets all the time. Go and play a loan day. Because, see, in fact, the Garcia guy, I don't know what he's doing right now. From last season, he scored a very important goal in the Copa del Rey. When they were literally losing a game against Alaves, and he scored an important last-minute goal. So he has been doing it. We beg you, please. Baby, what's his name? Is it Bobby Charlton? Please, find a team. Go and play alone at Villarreal and save yourself. We are out.